Hey everyone, it's Chris. I know you've been waiting for me to post another one of these Dollywood updates, and well, the wait is over. I want to say that I am deeply sorry for not posting over the last couple of years. Life happened, things like that, but not anymore. I'm going to take at least a little bit of my time to start posting updates about Dollywood, any kind of Dollywood update, not just new construction or anything like that. But with all that aside, it's the first episode of the all new Dollywood's update. Let's get right to it. Alright, so the reason why I wanted to bring these back, get a little more nitty gritty about Dollywood and things like that, because, you know, I've always had the interest of Dollywood and all things Dollywood and everything that it has to offer for the families and stuff like that. And I was watching my old YouTube videos back a couple of years ago when I was speculating and rumors and talking about the Dollywood's Project 2019, as I was calling it. 2019, that means I was doing it in 2018. Hard to believe. It's already 2025 and that project has gone past, way past Wildwood Grove as we know it now, with several rides, like I was saying. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything like that, no. But I'm just saying, you know, some of my things I was right about, some of the things I was, didn't see coming, like I said. Anyway, I mentioned in one of the videos about multiple phases, and I said perhaps maybe phase 2 would be the train ride being a dual thing, like a whole round trip slash multiple second station will be added. Haven't seen that yet. It is 2025 and that has not happened yet. But since then, phase 2 has opened. Literally opened. It's Big Bear Mountain. Search for a black bear. I said there was going to be a roller coaster, adventure-esque. Searching for treasure. Why did I think about an animal? Searching for an animal. I don't know why I didn't think of it. But I didn't. Anyway, so now phase 3 is getting built. Here's what we know now. Alright, so what we do know about Dollywood Project 2026. The hangar? The outpost? Whatever it's called, they're calling the project. Aviation hangar? Whatever. Anyway. So, there is a teaser video going out that Dollywood has posted that says you're going to go up, over, down, through the Great Smoky Mountains. Okay. And then it said take flight in 2026. But right before it says take flight 2026, it also says what would you find when the sun goes down. So, okay. So we're talking dark ride, possibly, because dark, right? Dollywood's first dark ride. I mentioned that years past, but it didn't happen in that first initial project. There's a lot of videos and a lot of pictures being posted about the new building getting framed up and everything and all of that. But I haven't seen any of that yet. Like, I literally have not seen any of the construction updates or anything like that, because life is happening. I can't get to Dollywood as often as I like. But hopefully soon I'll go check it out, see what's going on, get some footage, maybe even do some footage from the park from time to time, because it is literally at my doorstep now. So maybe we'll find out. We'll see what happens. The Dollywood update at Dollywood makes sense, right? Teaser, maybe not. Anyway, so what we know about this new attraction, ride, dark ride, what it is, I have no idea. Talking dark ride, possibly. Could be a flying theater. That's possible. But I don't see that happening. There's a couple of other flying theaters that are actually out on the parkway that you can actually go do now. And so I don't think Dollywood's going to, let's copy them. No, I think they're going to be a little bit more ambitious about what they're going to be adding. Let me build on what I'm talking about there. Let me hone in on that ambitiousness of Dollywood. So they said themselves, Pete Owens, public relations director, he said that the ride or attraction, whatever it is, will be the first of its kind in the U.S. Okay, so it's going to be ambitious. It's going to be something new we haven't seen before. I tried to remember if he said first of its kind in the world or first of its kind in the U.S. I think it was the U.S. Okay, and then it was mentioned, bits and pieces about this was going to be mentioned about different things at different times. So there was one of the very first clues they gave us was at No Coaster Con, and they kind of like put a couple pictures up, and it was like a Dollywood, Ned Oakley's warehouse as they were playing it off, because it's gonna be this big building, and it had a lot of Christmas decorations in it. And I was thinking, what the heck are they doing? It's Flower Grove, Ned Oakley's warehouse, Christmas decorations. Could they be going off of a invention that Ned Oakley come up with to transport riders, visitors, guests to the park? Up, over, down, and through the Smoky Mountains? And then we find out that it's going to be about a 44,000 square foot building, and it's going to be about a 5-story tall building. So not a small building at all. And then it's going to be on a 3.5 acre piece of land. That's big. So maybe there's going to be more than just that one building. There might be a couple other stands, a couple of other decorations, decor, whatever, to lead up to that. The location of it, however, is kind of baffling. They put it behind Big Bear Mountain, which I'm not seeing any other way to navigate around if they're going to continue their voyage into the mountains. I don't know which way we're going to go, unless on the backside of Big Bear Mountain, they go in between where the building is. You got the track that comes. You got the train track that comes around the backside of the area, right? And here is, and that kind of curls around Wildwood Grove, is Big Bear Mountain. So the building is literally almost, there is about a from what I've seen in pictures and videos and things, there's about maybe a 20 to 30-foot gap in between the edge of the building and the curvature of the train track that goes around, going further into the mountain. My guess is they're not going to go across the railroad track, around where the curve is. They're going to wait. If they do another crossing, they're going to wait till a good straight part, which is actually around the bend and up the hill just a little bit. There's a little bit of an uphill, and then it flattens out, and then it goes to a curve. So if they do a crossing, it would be going across there and doing something else, the next projects, if they do add a new area or whatever. And they might connect it to the other side of Wilderness Pass, down the line, obviously, by a Tennessee tornado. That's just a far out, like, down in the future type of thing. We do know that the project will house about 1,000 people. It said 1,000 people. They didn't say 1,000 people per hour or per ride or whatever the case may be. A lot of people are saying they're thinking it's 1,000 people per hour, but we don't know exactly. There's not been, like, quote unquote, that's what it is, 1,000 people per hour. It just said 1,000 people. Here lately, some people have been, some of the conductors on the train have been calling it Hidden Hollow Aviation or Hidden Hollow Hangar. So, going along with that Take Flight 2016 or 2026 kind of vibe. But what is it? What kind of ride is it? A lot of people, like I said, were saying it's a flying theater. Some people have been very ambitious in saying it's an indoor roller coaster. Would they put 3 roller coasters in the same area that close together? I mean, you look at Dollywood, you look at Timber Canyon, and there's 2 coasters, but they're about a couple hundred feet apart. Well, with Grove, you've got Dragonflyer, and you've got Big Bear, and they're about a couple hundred feet apart. So they don't put them right next to each other. They put them next to each other, but they're spaced out enough. Well, I mean, when you think about it, they're on either side of the path. You go into Thunderhead on the right-hand side, because you got to loop up and come back around on the right-hand side, and then you enter Mystery Mine on the right-hand side. But when you look at it from Mystery Mine, if you look at the path, the entrance of it, if you're looking from Thunderhead to Mystery Mine, Thunderhead's entrance is on the left-hand side. Mystery Mine is on the right-hand side. But if you flip it, Mystery Mine's on the left-hand, Thunderhead is on Thunderhead is on the right. So they're on opposing sides of the path. That's what I'm saying. Dragonflyer is on the right, or the left hand. Big Bear is on the right, and vice versa. You flip it around, it's going to be backwards. Then they are, as far as the entrance to entrance, it's a couple hundred feet away. Yes, the track of the ride of both roller coasters are pretty dang close, because there's a couple of rides in between, and Hidden Hollow. It's the indoor attraction slide climbing complex they have in there, where you can see the fairies and stuff like that inside. Sometimes they'll come out and greet all the kids and everything. So I get where they're getting Hidden Hollow, but that's not Hidden Hollow. Hidden Hollow is just the name of attraction. It's not an area. So if they keep going off Hidden Hollow, they should change the whole area from Gem Forest to Hidden Hollow, because you have to go through a log, right? So to me, I don't know if they're going off Hidden Hollow or that's just a Hidden Hollow Aviation, like the project name. Hidden Hollow Aviation or Hangar. Um, but anyway, that's just my guess on that. So, indoor roller coaster, I don't know. It's intriguing. I know they did a survey and it said something about it. They also had a boat ride. They also had a few other ideas of of um, of rides and everything, and it got me thinking um, what it could be. If they're not going to go anything what they had in the survey, they're going to go something completely different. If they do a dark ride, they had um, the very first pictures of the Ned Oakley's warehouse um, with the storage boxes everywhere, storage containers, and it had Christmas decorations and it had ornaments, and some of the ornaments was a ball with the coat of many colors. Another one was the Dollywood logo, and I got to thinking, if they did a dark ride, they could go the interactive dark ride route, and you shoot at the butterflies throughout the ride. They could do that. However, I'm leaning because if it was a roller coaster, there's not very many footers in place for a track to go into. If it was a roller coaster that I've seen now, obviously I've not been there. I've not seen anything. I'm just going based off what I've seen, pictures wise and things like that. So as far as that goes, I'm just going off what I've seen from pictures and all that from the internet, social media, things of that nature. So I'm not 100% sure on my facts as far as that goes. Um, anyway, what I think it might be, and could be, but I'm not 100% sure on this. I am just going on full personal assumption here that it could be an Omni Mover style dark ride. So what is an Omni Mover style dark ride? Think of the Haunted Mansion at Disney. Think of Buzz Lightyear at Disney. That's a shooter ride. Something like that, where you get in the car and you're whisked away, and it's non-stop, so they can get that many people in there as fast as possible without having to stop the ride, unless like a handicap helpful thing, whatever. They had to stop it for a couple of seconds and then start the ride back up. That's the only time they would shut the ride down or slow it down to let somebody get on real easily without having to hurt themselves. So I think an Omni Mover is a good option. Because it's a 44,000 square foot building, 5 foot tall. So I'm thinking it's got to be maybe a multi-level dark ride. So I'm thinking like Spaceship Earth Epcot style, going around, seeing different scenes, and then, not exactly in that track layout, obviously, because the building is a sphere, so it's not going to be exactly like that. But you get the idea. It's also on your mover, so you're getting in the seat, and there's just constant seats going around. There's not a break on seating. Um, so I think it might be an Omni mover. Um, although it could be a trackless um, dark ride, possibly. Another theory that I have that I came up with on my own. I heard trackless, but that's like way faint talkings of it. There, a lot of people the loudest roarings that I've heard was the flying and the indoor dark coaster, with a little bit of the boat ride mixed in there. Um, Another thing that I came up with, it's a new style dark ride concept from Mock. It is like a it's an interactive style shooter ride, and it just goes around in one circle. And you shoot, you go to different scenes, and you shoot at different things, and you go around the circle twice. But the riders don't know that because well, you go around twice, obviously, but you get on at one station, you get off at another, and you go around. And when you get to a certain point, your chair it spins around, so you don't see the station behind you. You're still looking at scenes. So you're going around the second round, and by the time you get back, your chair is spinning around, so you can get out. So, and it's in a tighter, it's dark ride that is in a tighter footprint. Possibly, I don't know if they'll go with the interactive shooter route, but they could go with a story like that. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm just spitting ideas. That there's only two of that attraction. Um, there's one at I believe it's Polton's Park, um, and I think another one at I want to say Europa Park, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong on the Europa Park. I know one's at Polton's Park. Um, the other one just Europa. I mean, Polton's Park just opened up recently, within the last couple months. The other one, is either still getting built, or is already open. Was open before the Polton Park one. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, but you get what I'm saying. There's only a few of them out there, less than a few, just a couple. So that's a possibility. But we don't know for sure what it is. Dollywood's being very, very hush hush about this. We only know what we can see, what we can pull out of people. They did say not only are we getting the new ride, but they also said that we're going to be getting a revitalized or revamped, updated legacy attraction. Not sure exactly which ride is supposed to be the legacy attraction that they're talking about. I'm thinking more of Daredevil Falls, but I could be wrong on that. I do know that Daredevil Falls has been closed for a while, as has Blazing Fury. But Blazing Fury is supposed to be opening later on this year with a revamped scenes and things like that. Mainly reintegrating the water, not necessarily the splashdown at the end, but the water in that bigger open area right before you go to that first drop with the collapsing bridge. There's like this big open area, and it's got the waterfall and the little pond. A couple waterfalls, actually. The big waterfall and the one that comes kind of like cascading down. Said to be bringing that back to its full glory. Along with a couple other small, minor tidbits throughout, just kind of like but as far as the legacy attraction they called getting revamped, I don't think, or getting the much needed attention. I don't think it's Blazing Fury. I think it's going to be more so of Daredevil Falls. But I could be wrong. So, anyways, again, we know it's 1,000 people per hour, possibly. We know that it's a 44,000 square foot building. We know it's a 3.5 acre plot of land, and we know it's a $50+ million expansion. So we know it's a massive, probably one of the biggest investments in the park history. $50+ million. That's crazy. So again, the question is, what kind of ride is it? We'll have to sit back and find out. I'm gonna have to go to the park real soon here and check it out. Check out the construction updates. I know the framing is already going up as we speak. Like, the framing and roof framing are already up, so they are moving fast on this project. Just a month ago, they were breaking ground on it, and the beginning of the season they had the media / season pass day, and they had they had Dolly Parton, they had Eugene Naughton, who is the park president, and they had the Hershin family, and a few others come out and speak about the legacy of Dollywood and how it came about and everything. And the subject of new attraction popped up in the park president said that here soon we're not going to be able to hide the big 44,000 square foot building, so you'll be seeing, and then real recently, within the last month, the framing has shot up, and it shot up fast. It's not like a gradual build. It was like not there one day, or not there 1 week and there the next. So they're moving fast on it. Perhaps they want to get the framing up before they put the ride stuff inside. I've not seen any or heard any rumblings of any track. If it is a roller coaster coming into the area, normally you would see that or know of it coming in the area. A lot of people, there was one thing that came up that on the internet about a shipment from overseas that got shipped from Mock. I think it was Mock. Shipped from overseas, and it said roller coaster track, and got shipped into South Carolina, and it was said for Dollywood. So, is it marked roller coaster track because that's the easiest way to label what they're using it for? Maybe it's a track like that needs, to navigate around. Might be an indoor boat ride, water coaster-esque style attraction where you're getting wet inside and you're I don't know. I did hear a little bit of mumblings about a possible ride system like Harry Potter's ride at Universal Studios, where it's a robot arm style, where you're flying around different rooms and stuff. I mean, that's possible. That is possible. Another thing that came about recently was I mentioned it a couple of years ago. It was the I think it was a mock inverted powered spinner coaster, as it's what it's branded as, and it's basically there's a coaster overseas. There's a couple of them, but the main one I'm talking about is branded as an Arthur roller coaster, and it was anyway. A lot of people are saying that it could be that style roller coaster. That is possible. Again, that roller coaster, that particular layout of the roller coaster was indoor outdoor. We would see something outdoor, footer wise, track wise, footer wise at least, as to if it does come out of the building or not. We don't know. There's no. Again, it's just a framing. We have no walls up. We have nothing like that. They did have a ginormous hole in the ground there where they were building infrastructure in the ground before they built up the frame. They put cement walls down in the ground, like retaining walls. So I know they had to go down first before they built up. So whatever they're doing, they had to do a lot of infrastructure first in doing so. Well, time is running out for me tonight. More of these are going to be coming out. I'm excited about it. Like I said, I was watching my YouTube videos on TV. Literally, I was watching YouTube on my Roku, and I got out and I was watching these videos, and I was getting excited again. I was like, you know what? There's something going on at Dollywood. I haven't done much on my YouTube channel. I haven't done much on about Dollywood update and all that stuff. And so that is why I wanted to do this and start talking about Dollywood again and do more Dollywood related content. Whatever kind of update is it, whether it's merch or new ride, new attraction, new show. And I know there's a lot of new stuff that's going on at Dollywood. I haven't been to Dollywood in quite some time. So my first episode at Dollywood, when I do an episode of Dollywood, is going to be loaded with new stuff for me, even though it's been there for a while. I know there's a new show called Play On in the Pines that I'm very curious to see. There's another new show called From the Heart, which is basically a legacy from the Heart, which is basically a Dolly Parton story that I think just finished for the springtime, and I think what they did last year is they brought it back for the fall, and they might do that again. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But I believe that's what they said. At least that's what they did last year. Went back based on last season. They might do it again this season, so I don't want to miss it. There's a new restaurant that just opened up in Wilderness Pass, so that's exciting. There's a lot of new stuff. When I get there, I'm going to be, pumping out the Dollywood content about different stuff, all that stuff. One of the main content things I'll be doing is covering the Dollywood expansion of Project 2026, Hidden Hollow Aviation, Hidden Hollow Hangar, whatever they're calling it. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited to see another one of these videos. So don't sit back. Hit that like button. Comment down below. Are you excited or not? Are you ready for more content? And subscribe, because you do not want to miss, I promise you do not want to miss any updates coming up, because the content is going to be pumped out fast, pumped out a lot. Exciting things are ahead for my channel and the Dollywood update. So hit that bell so you don't miss any notification, anything that's happening. So yeah. Live life to the fullest and live like there's no tomorrow. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Live like there's tomorrow. I said that wrong. Live like there's no live life. I can't even speak. This is going to look real. live like there's no. That's not right either. Frick.